I see me freezing, but should be okay.
The one viewer.
So for today's topic, we are lipstick and logic, and in one of our previous discussions, we did have someone give some feedback where they said that they would love to hear more about financial literacy and about the Black tax and how, with the Black tax, a lot of times once people come up, they feel that need to go back and help their family. So what does that mean for us as minorities, and not even necessarily just in a Black group? It can be any group. Um, Building your financial wealth. How do you do that? What's the best way? Do one of you guys kind of want to start? I have some notes.
Ooh.
I can kind of start from, I guess maybe this is more of perspective
Mhm.
because I've been thinking about things like that, like even starting YouTube channels. And I think my biggest struggle, and I mean, we have this one, but I mean, like hair stuff or even makeup, I'm not that good with it, but there are things like ideas that I've had for people that don't have a lot of time for baking or just don't care to do it, and just
Right.
want a simple everyday look. So, but in the grand scheme of things, I think I let a lot of things get in my way, like work and um, errands that I need to run when I do have the time off and trying to catch up from things throughout the week. And so that kind of gets put on the back burner. And I think for me, that whole idea of generating extra income is there, but actually putting it into practice is the difficult part.
That's the hardest part, because how do you do that? Especially when you're not coming from a family that's like used to doing that. How do you start that new trend?
Yeah.
And Isha, I'm gonna pick on you a little bit because you have a son. So I think that you're even at a different mindset than we would be, because now you're
Hmm.
thinking about building your family.
Yeah. I think I struggle with that too. And I think we've also had this discussion before. If you could make more money, would more money actually be enough? At my current level, I feel like more money would be a lot better. Um, I'm blessed to have at least one income right now, and I'm thankful for that. But again, I hear it's better, and wealthy people have multiple streams of income, but they also have in inside knowledge on stocks, real estate.
Right.
They have family and friends that will just start businesses with them, just really small startups. And it's usually simple things. And it's not always about like what you know, it's who you know too. But I feel like it could be easier, and there has to be there, because I'm not the only person that's a single mom or a parent that would like to have more than one income. So I know that there are easier ways, but it's just that I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm exposed to enough, and I do know in the Black community we typically aren't exposed to certain things. I know when I was younger, my dad, he was taking community college courses, and he was working towards getting his social work degree, and which he eventually did, but he was in the military, he was a father, he had a family, and then it got to the point where he was having like another job, but he did school, and he would take me sometimes to his classes, and he would say that children who are the children of doctors, or the children of lawyers, they usually follow in those footsteps, not because those are such difficult career paths. It's just that they've seen their parents do it, so they know it's attainable. So he was like, well, I want you to go to college at the very least, well, that wasn't, but he wanted me to go to college, so he took me to class with him so I would know what it would look like, and when the time came I wouldn't be intimidated about, by doing it. But I think it's all about exposure. But I think, and I'm glad we're having this discussion, because what can we do?
And I mean, look at you. There has to be something to be said about what he did, and now you have your PhD.
Mm-hmm.
So it worked. And awesome. I don't know. I was about to say you should take him out to classes with you, but you can't.
I'll just bring him to work.
Take him to work with you. But it's crazy. In doing some research before we kind of officially started talking about this topic, I found that for every $100 that whites have, Blacks have $5.04 on average. Just let that marinate for a second. How crazy is that? $5.04. Okay. And viewers, as you guys see this, if you want to comment, go ahead. If you have questions and if you have suggestions on how you continue to build your wealth, we definitely want to know. So go ahead and add your comments. Another thing, that between 1983 and 2013, so in 1983, the average Black family had $6,800, right?
Mhm.
In 2003, that decreased 75% to $1,700. The average Latinx family had $4,000. And in 2013, that decreased to 2,000, 50%. The average white family in 1983 had $102,000. In 2013, that increased by 14% to $116,800. Right?
Now, are we talking? Okay, were the first couple for Blacks and Hispanics, was that monthly initially, and then the whites was that yearly?
Annual.
No, this is the same method of measurement.
Mhm.
I believe this is an annual um, survey, but I will definitely confirm that, and we will add this article to the Lipstick and Logic page. It's on Forbes. But
Yeah.
yeah, just the disparity between minorities and whites, there definitely is something that we're missing. And I mean, obviously that can go back to redlining when we weren't allowed to get the loans that white families had, and that builds generational wealth. So if my grandparents didn't have the means to get a home, they didn't have anything to pass on to my parents. My parents didn't have anything to pass on to me. So you definitely see those cycles continuing to repeat.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, of course, systemic racism
Mm-hmm.
there. It's in our face. That's the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Now, we already know that. What do we do to get around it? Or now that we know that's in place, how are there small ways, or what small ways can we implement um, other means of acquiring income? Like what? That's something I really want to know. I do know now people are flipping houses and they're getting into real estate on a really small level, whether it's, buying homes that have been foreclosed on and abandoned. I live near the Detroit area, so I know there's a lot of um, opportunity in that regard. But again, I know nothing about flipping a home, and also I'm even in this phase where I'm trying to build up my finances so that I can have the means to even purchase a home in the first place.
Right.
And also being older, like that's another thing too. Millennials, I feel like we're getting out of the house sooner. It's harder for us to kind of just kickstart our lives. But what are just some ways, being a millennial near early 30s with a steady income, and how are there other ways that we can just get more money? I know it sounds like I feel kind of greedy saying that, but it shouldn't. Like, don't feel guilty or greedy, trying to get more money.
And I think it kind of boils down to sacrifice and being willing to sacrifice, because although we are getting out the house earlier, and this isn't based on research, this is just based on my observations and my personal experience. I do think that we're in a culture where we want everything now, like immediately. So, we have to kind of take that step back and say, you know what, this is going to take time for me to build. And I have to be willing to kind of sacrifice taking this vacation or buying new makeup or a purse.
So honestly, I've been thinking about this just because with my school loans and paying on them, like mine is fairly large.
Right.
And so essentially, and I don't mind saying that, I think I was giving like $500 a month. That could be so many other things that I could save on. And honestly, like my ideal plan, basically they have like public loan forgiveness if you work for a nonprofit. And so I was doing that because after 10 years they'll cover the other half of your loan or whatever you didn't pay in that 10 years. But currently I'm not working for a nonprofit. So for me, I'm having to rethink that whole thing and kind of make it to where I can figure out how to budget my life. Now, in my mind, and I've heard people talk about Dave Ramsey a lot. I don't know all of his information, but I do know the biggest thing is to get rid of all your debt, right? Because once you get rid of that, then you can start, using your money towards other things. And so I think the hardest part is getting rid of that debt. And literally for me, I basically only have my school loan, and that's hard enough, to get rid of as it is. So I feel like getting an extra source of income could also go towards paying off that loan and helping me use my money better. And, honestly, shopping is my rehab. Like, that's my therapy. So I think I also need to get in the mindset where it's like, okay, I have other things that money has to go towards. I don't need, the makeup, the clothes all the time. Or even just budgeting better for it. I think that's kind of one of the things that's been really difficult for me.
Right. Because Dave Ramsey talks about the debt snowball where you pay off kind of the smallest thing first and then you continue to build it up. And of course, he's not the only finance guru. There's the Budgetnista. I think that's a woman that talks about finances. And there are so many people. There are resources out there, but it's just having that stick to a business to actually go and do the resources. So something else I looked up is reasons, because you could be the type of person that you feel like, I'm doing okay. So what kind of motivation would you have for increasing your income if you don't have that family and it's just you? So of course, paying off your debt could be one. Taking like the most elaborate vacations in the world, like going to Dubai, my dream, or South Africa or something. Paying cash for big items like a car, or dare I say a house. That sounds extreme, but you never know. Don't put limits on God. Unfortunately, if you do kind of end up being unemployed, if you're laid off or you're fired, you do want to make sure that you have that financial cushion. And of course, healthcare costs continue to rise. So making sure that you're covered for just any crazy thing that can happen is also very important. So you look like you're about to say something, so I'll just stop.
I know I'm not going to say anything. I'm just thinking, honestly, because these are all things that are very, very much in front of our faces. I know that sometimes when people say that their main source of income prevents them from seeking other sources of income, but then my main source provides me with insurance, healthcare, and even other benefits that you get, your 401k. And that's not always some things that you can get when you're an entrepreneur. So how is it like, now, first of all, you're trying to gain more income. You also have to learn how to allocate your time and also make time for just your family and yourself, because mental health is also something that's really important. But I think, again, it also has to deal with reprioritizing what you think is important. I do know I scroll on my phone like hours on end sometimes, and it's not really doing anything conducive to my life or making my day more productive. Maybe there's certain things that, we can be more mindful of in trying to gain another source of income. But I don't know, are there any things that you've heard of or you've seen that have been lucrative, or what even if it's a small step, what do you think is a decent small step? Because you may not have like another source that you're making tons of money,
Right. So I did some research on that too. So the first thing I saw was offering a service or selling something. So it could be something small, but at the end of the day, you are building finances in a place that you wouldn't have done previously. Creating a product. Sometimes it takes money to make money, so that does require some personal investment. I'm starting a passion project, and I would say that for us, this would be our passion project. Is not something that we're making money on right now, but it's something that we enjoy. And, hopefully in the future, you never know what can happen.
Pause for a second, because I was going to say, I feel like, and this is a question, I feel like we all have hobbies and things we just like to do. So even considering a way to use that hobby as some way to bring income in. Like Aisha, you love to paint, and your paintings are really...
They're like bomb, guys.
Look at the plug.
And I feel like if that was more advertised, if people knew about it, or, just if you found a platform, because I think there are platforms that you can use to kind of get them out there, that could be another source of income for you. And it might not be large right now, but I feel like it would be an easy place to start, because one, you like to do it, you have the tools to do it already. And so it's not like extra work. And I also feel like it might be something that's relaxing for you too.
That's true.
That could tie in, like the mental health part into that as well. So that's just a thought of something, that might help others generate income just easily without having to go out of their way and help with that work-life balance still.
Right. Something that you're not even thinking of, that someone just expresses their interest in that you do.
That's true. That's true. I even know And it started in undergrad actually, where I would have actually like multiple jobs. So I was a student, then I was doing, some little odd job on the campus, and then I'd also do hair, and that's where it started. And then when I went to graduate school, I would do hair. I taught as well as being a graduate research assistant. So, and even the teaching was a second source of income. So I had it kind of down pat in graduate school, but now that I feel like I'm starting my career now, and then with a child in the mix, it's a little bit difficult for me. And I do think painting is awesome. I still probably could do hair. I don't know if I haven't done that in so long, but that used to be a really great source of income for me too.
Right. And something I read was saying using the money that you're making from that extra thing that you're doing and putting it towards something very specific. So if it's, you know what, this is my vacation money, and you're not worrying about saving for a vacation, or this is what I'm using to pay off my car, or this is what I'm using to invest. So you discussed real estate. Of course, that's another really big one. It's of course, every investment is risky, but I would say real estate is something that most people consider to be a little bit safer. And diversifying your investments is another really big one, and that is one with a high risk. But at the end of the day, when it works, it's worth it. And one way that is relatively easy to start getting into diversifying your investments is through peer-to-peer lending. There are a lot of companies that do it. So just kind of doing research on a company that you think you feel is trustworthy. And you can start with as little as $1,000. So I feel like right now we should kind of take that challenge. What are we going to do to add a new source of income to what we're currently doing, and hopefully being able to report on that and how it's doing, not necessarily the specifics, but just kind of encouraging everyone. And if you're watching, go ahead and let us know, what you're doing to increase your income, or what suggestions you have, because I think it's great when we can.
Also, have you guys tried those? I'm not really sure what the proper term for it is, but they're investing apps like Acorns. Have any of you tried that before? I remember I did it one time and I didn't really invest enough. I put like $35 and it wasn't really going anywhere, but I think I would definitely try it again now because I have a little bit more to like work with. Well, have you guys ever tried or had any feedback from those?
I have money sitting in an app right now. As you say that, I just remembered it. An app called Stash. To be honest, I was like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and start investing and do this new thing. And then I completely forgot about it.
How does Stash work again?
You're asking the wrong person. I just said I completely forgot about it, Jess. I don't know.
Okay.
I know you
put money in, and
I know that you put.
Go ahead.
Ooh, I like that.
You see it? They bartend on the weekend and use the money to pay your student loans. That's awesome.
That's nice.
That's a great idea.
That's a really good idea. Sounds like fun.
If you feel comfortable, but how are the tips with that? Because I feel like bartenders make amazing tips. Let me know if that's true or false.
Everybody loves the bartender.
I low key get a side job at Sephora just because I feel like it would be fun.
I think we need to own stocks in Sephora because I spend so much there. Honestly, it's flexible. It is flexible. Like it really. That's what I like about that. Like even in grad school, my schedule is very flexible, so I was able to kind of pick up more things here, or I could, schedule time to do someone's hair there. So very good tips here. Very good tips. So I think that's a really good avenue. I didn't even think about that.
Awesome. Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to add on to this challenge. Just kind of going ahead, picking a bill that we have a goal to pay off. It doesn't have to be your student loan, Jess, because that's kind of like crazy, but using the funds from this extra source of income to pay off that bill and reporting back to everyone here how it goes. Are you guys willing?
What's our timeline? Because I can tell you it's not going to happen by next session.
Okay, not necessarily completely paying it off, but reporting on the progress of it.
Okay.
In the next 3 to 6 months, like a 3-month checkup and a 6-month checkup. In February.
I actually like that. I really like because I have 2 two big loans, I guess. Not two big loans, but two big debts that I have. And one would be like my credit card. And that's really not huge, but it's something that's really easy to kind of knock out and keep it, at a reasonable level. So I think that's really fun. We have to discuss that, like what we're going to do. And I think a lot of you guys, if you have any ideas, if you have been inspired by us talking about this, let us know what you're going to do to knock out your debts and gain another source of income. So we want everybody to have at least 3 sources of income by the end of 2019. I'm claiming it. So along with your current 3. You look like that's
Okay.
Oh. At least, we're 1 to 3.
That looked like Shireen's good idea. I never thought of that.
Oh,
I like challenges, so let's do it.
I really think we should do that. I mean, I feel like it's really, one can be a really small hobby. One can be like, your obviously your main gig. And then another one can be something that you really see growing into something past and beyond 2019 and 2025 and all that stuff. So,
and to just comment on the other comment that we got, she said that she got a few patients through bartending, which is awesome. So thinking of it as an avenue to continue to build another thing that you're working on. I love that idea. Thank you.
That's awesome.
That was great. Great feedback. Our followers are awesome.
Great, guys.
Our viewers are great.
Yeah. So are you ready to say the lipstick that we're wearing today?
I am.
I feel like it has like all this amazing energy. Can you start off right now? You just look really happy.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have on Heroin by MAC. Oh, it's right here. But the sticker fell off. But this is an old lipstick, actually. You should throw your lipsticks away. They say like after 6 months or 12 months. Never. Anyways, this is Heroin by MAC. And it's
on my face.
What? Yeah, throwing away your lipsticks. I actually need a new lipstick tray so that I can organize my makeup cabinet. I love makeup. Anyways, Heroin by MAC.
Very pretty.
Thank you.
Okay. I am wearing NARS Cruella. Let me not put it in front of my face. NARS Cruella. It's a lip crayon. And I'm also wearing, and I mess this up all the time, and just quick sidebar, I meant to say, how do I pronounce this before we started this? So my bad. Is it NYX or NYX?
People use either. It's
I'm
interchangeable.
wearing NYX or NYX lingerie. And I knew it before I started, After Hours. And I love this one. I'm just trying to do like this light ombre look, and I like it.
It's really pretty.
Okay, so what I'm wearing, this one's from Dior, and I think, if I'm correct, it's called Mysterious, but the number is 897 in case I'm wrong, because I'm not sure.
Is that a red?
It's like a pinky red.
It's really pretty.
I don't know if you can see it very well in this.
No, the light's really bad, but it looks so gorgeous on you. I mean, in the tube, but it's really pretty.
It was actually a gift from Sulky, so she's watching this. Shout out to Sulky.
Aww, shout outs to Sulky.
So we're talking about gifts. If y'all want to buy us lipstick to try on, I mean, go right ahead.
I'd be so with that.
Or if there's a lipstick you guys want to see on different skin tones, let us know.
True.
That's really good.
I'm here for it.
I am. Oh, we should share just one day, just for reference, not this time, but our foundation colors, because some people might need to know if they want to, see how it works. I'm really adventurous. I'll try just about any color. I think Shireen and Jessica. Shireen's got like a green. Looks really amazing on her. She looks like money when she wears it. But anyways.
Prophecy. I'm going to claim that. Thank you.
We can take pictures of each of them and post them in our on our page so you can see them in better lighting and all of that.
Yeah.
Good idea.
It was great talking to you guys.
Great. Thanks so much for participating. If you're watching this after the fact, feel free to add your comment right below. Y'all know I like doing that.
Shout out to Ruth for interacting. Thank you.
And for the bomb ideas, because that's amazing. Guys, bye.
Bye.
Y'all next week.